Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. Today we're going to take a look at the production elements that are part of the Platinum expansion for Farm Sim 22. But before that, this video is brought to you by Jayhawk226 and Chasey Dog. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Platinum expansion for Farm Sim 22 not only brings us a new map in Silver Run Forest, it also brings us several new trees, several new ways of harvesting and transporting those trees, and then finally brings us a new sawmill that's going to provide a lot of new outputs that are going to be used down the road to produce additional goods from additional factories. This video is going to talk to you about all of the production elements that are part of Silver Run Forest and the Platinum expansion, which of those can be used outside of Silver Run Forest, and some gotchas that you might run across if you try to use all of the production elements that are included in the Platinum expansion, because as of the recording of this video, you're not going to be able to place down an iron mine. You're also not going to be able to place down the old sawmill. Both of those are going to be required for some of these factories to be used outside of Silver Run Forest. The first one we're looking at here is the paper factory. And the paper factory is going to take logs, any old plain Jane logs, and it's going to convert those into carton rolls and paper rolls. So we have our log drop-off point right here. We have our wood cell trigger and our interactive icon. Around the side, we then have our spawn point where our paper rolls and board rolls are going to appear. So we have a paper roll, 2,800 pieces, 1.3 tons. And then we have our carton roll, basically cardboard, 2,800 pieces, 1.3 tons. We can 100% use this factory outside of Silver Run Forest. And if we take a look in the build mode, under production, under factories, we're going to find the paper factory listed right here, $130,000. Now let's jump up real fast to the old sawmill, because the old sawmill is going to be required for some of these additional factories. This is the old sawmill that is available here on Silver Run Forest, and the old sawmill is going to produce long planks, short planks, wood beams, and prefab walls. Now what's interesting about this particular facility is we're going to put logs in down here at the log pond. And then they are going to go up the chute into the sawmill. We have our interactive icon. And then we have a multitude, I'll say, of spawn points for our productions. We have a spawn point down here at the factory where we're going to find long planks. We then have a spawn point where we're going to find boards, wooden beams. Okay? Then when those are filled up, the rest of our products are going to spawn over here under this roof. Again, this is specific to Silver Run Forest. We have prefab walls, 1,000 pieces. We have our long planks again, our wood beams again, and then our normal planks, which is what we are used to seeing in other Farm Sim 22 sawmills. Now, if there's a factory that requires prefab walls, long planks, or beams, you're out of luck on any other map other than Silver Run Forest, because as of the recording of this video, the sawmill is not placeable, and there are no other placeables that are available that produce these specific outputs. Let's jump down here to the next production facility, which is going to be the barrel factory. The barrel factory is a placeable sell point, or a placeable factory that we could place on other maps, but you're not going to want to. And this is why. If we take a look at our production screen, you're going to see the barrel factory is going to require long planks, can't make, don't have the old sawmill on other maps, and metal rolls, can't make. We don't have the iron ore on the other maps that is required for the iron furnace that is a placeable in the Platinum expansion, nor are there mods that allow you to make metal rolls with any other mod. So the barrel factory is going to be basically tied down to Silver Run Forest at this point, but that may change in the future. We're going to take long planks and metal rolls. We're going to make barrels, buckets, and bathtubs. So we have our interactive icon here at the front door. We have our dump station here at the front side doors. And then the spawn point for our outputs is around back. And here we have our bathtub, 600 kilograms. We have our buckets, 600 kilograms. Then we have our barrels, again, 600 kilograms. We're going to find this under the build mode if we want to put down another barrel factory. That is going to be located right here, $120,000. Freely rotates on center. Well, the next factory we're going to take a look at is going to be the furniture factory. Once we're at the furniture factory, we have our dump place. We have our interactive icon. Then we have our spawn point around the back. Now, the furniture factory is going to have two different sets of production lines for each output. And we can use this factory, at least in some regard, on other maps because of our options. So if we come back here to our production chains, the furniture factory has a production line for long planks, for armoires, chairs, and tables. Then they also have a production line for regular planks, for armoires, chairs, and tables. Now, the armoire is going to require both planks and metal rolls. We're not going to be able to make armoires on any other map. Back to the whole fact that we can't make metal rolls with the iron furnace. We can make chairs, and we can also make tables because neither of those are going to require metal rolls. Therefore, we will be able to make those on other maps. So here we have our chairs, 570 kilograms for 1,000 units. We have our tables right there, 1,000 pieces for 600 kilograms. Now here's our armoires if you're playing on Silver Run Forest, or maybe in one day, we'll be able to make metal rolls, and then we'll be able to make armoires also on another map. Let's head on over to the flooring factory. At the flooring factory, we have our dump station around the side. Around the front, we have our interactive icon. And then on the other side, and if you saw my map tour video around Silver Run Forest, you know that the map got dinged a little bit for not having interactive or not having marker icons here representing where the pallets are going to spawn at. But here we have our floor tiles. Now, if we take a look at our production menu, you'll see that we have planks, long or regular planks as far as inputs, and then we have floor tiles as an output. As such, since this factory does take regular planks, we will be able to use this factory on another map. Let's go ahead and take a look and see where it is here in our build mode. We have under production, and then we have the flooring factory right here, $110,000, freely rotates on center. Next place we're going to take a look at is the Shingle Factory. Now, the Shingle Factory is something that we're only going to be able to use on Silver Run Forest because the Shingle Factory is going to require long planks. And as we said already, long planks are only producible as of the recording of this video from the old sawmill that is already placed on Silver Run Forest. The old sawmill is not a placeable that we can put down on other maps. But at any rate, We have our dump point. We have our shingle spawn point. Nice boxed cedar shingles. And we have our interactive icon here at the front door. Now let's go ahead and take a look at it in our production chains. We have long planks as an input and shingles as an output. Up next, we have the art accessories factory. Literally across the street from our shingles factory, we have the art accessories factory. We have our dump point, we have our pallet spawn point, and then we have our interactive icon here around the side. The shingles factory is going to be another factory problem because it again takes long planks and it's going to convert those long planks into picture frames and easels. Really wish the shingle factory and the picture frame factory, or the art supplies factory, I should say, also kind of take a nod from the flooring factory and the furniture factory in that they take planks and long planks. As a result, both shingles and art accessories are going to be destined to be kind of stuck here on Silver Run Forest until we get a mod that makes long planks, or until we get the old Sawmill as a placeable item on other maps. But if you are playing on Silver Run Forest, that's what the picture frame pallets look like. 200 kilograms for 1,000 pieces. And then our easels. 600 kilograms, again for 1,000 pieces. Next one we're going to take a look at is our Woodturner. And the Woodturner is located right here. Right by our furniture factory, actually. So we have our dump point here on the side. We have our wood cell icon because we can bring just plain logs down here to the Woodturner. We have our interactive icon on the front, and we can make staircase railings, pepper grinders, and bowls here at the Woodturner. Let's go ahead and take a look at the production chains menu. Now, this one will work on other maps because we have two different production lines. Depending on the output, we have regular wood and long planks. Now, clearly we can't use the long planks production menu on other maps, but we can bring raw logs to the Woodturner factory on other maps and still produce staircase railings, pepper grinders, and bowls. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our pet accessories. So our pet accessories factory is going to be a difficult one because it's going to require, once again, long planks. So we have our dump point, we have our interactive icon around the front, and then we have our outputs here on the other side. We have birdhouses, 600 kilograms for 1,000 pieces of birdhouse. We have a very, very heavy doghouse, 600 kilograms for 1,000 units, one doghouse. And then we have our cat tree, 600 kilograms, again for 1,000 pieces of cat tree. And if we take a look at our construction menu, you'll see that we have long planks and wool. Well, once again, long planks are going to be limited to Silver Run Forest because of the old Sawmill. So you will not be able to place down a pet accessories factory on other maps. The cat tree is going to require long planks and wool. The doghouse is going to require long planks also. But it would have been nice to, once again, have seen replication like the Woodturner and some of the other factories where they're going to require wood or just regular planks, for that sake, as inputs for the birdhouse, cat tree, and doghouse. Now, we've already taken a look at the old Sawmill, so we don't really need to run through that, but we do have wood as the input, and then we make planks, wood chips, long planks, wood beams, and prefab walls. The last production that we're going to take a look at is the iron furnace. And the iron furnace is going to be limited to Silver Run Forest. And actually, the iron furnace is the one place that you're going to have to put down by yourself because it is not pre-placed on the map. the iron furnace is going to require iron ore as an input. And then once you provide iron ore, you're going to be able to get some metal rolls as an output. So the metal rolls are going to come out here out the back. And we have some metal rolls. 1.3 tons for 1,000 units in each metal roll. We have our dump point around the front where we're going to dump our iron ore, and then it's going to go up the chute into the factory. And then we have our interactive icon all the way over here around the back corner. Now, as far as inputs, again, you're going to have to use iron ore. You're going to get your iron ore, Silver Run Forest, up here at the iron mine, which is located right here. Iron Peaks Iron Mine. And we've talked about this already several times, but the iron ore basically is deposited here in a pile. You're then able to come through here with a loading bucket and scoop it up and put it into a trailer, or like I've done here, I'm using a belt system in order to basically belt the iron ore into a trailer, make things all nice and easy. Now the iron mine is permanently a part of the map. It is not a placeable, so therefore we cannot put this down on other maps in order to produce iron ore. So therefore the iron furnace really is a placeable and a production aspect that kind of starts and ends with Silver Run Forest, at least as of the recording of this video. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at our production screen and our factories, and you'll see we can put down the iron furnace. $180,000. It's a rather large building, but there you go. And now with all of these sell points, or all of these factories that are producing new outputs, you will also want to put down the Silver Run Market as a sell point, because this market is going to be what you're going to need to use in order to sell lots of these new production areas or production items. So we have our pallet point, we have our dump point for our grains that will open and close, which is pretty cool. And it looks very, very similar to the farmer's market that we have all seen in Farm Sim 22 up until this point. So guys, let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think about the new production items that are available. I really wish that we could place the iron mine, and therefore we could make metal rolls. And I really wish we could place the old sawmill, or a variant of the old sawmill that maybe is a little bit smaller, on other maps, so we could have the ability to make those wooden beams, those prefab walls, and those, most importantly, long planks. And then I also wish that all of the production that only takes long planks would also take regular planks or take logs, so that then we could use all of those production items on other maps. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.